Welcome to the NBA Plugs Playoff Predictions Round 2. I did round number 1 already. That's up on my video page, but I'm going to recap how that went because I think I did pretty good for the most part. So let's get into it right away quickly, then we'll get into round 2. So Thunder versus Pelicans. In my round 1 video, I had Thunder in 5. OKC ended up sweeping them. Clippers versus Mavericks. I said Mavericks in 7. They ended up winning in 6. That was crazy. Timberwolves and Suns. No, this one was actually more crazy. I had Timberwolves in 7. They ended up sweeping. Incredible. Nuggets versus Lakers. I said Nuggets in 5. They won in 5. So got that right. To the east side, I had Celtics in 5. They ended up winning in 5. I had Cavs in 6. They ended up winning in 7. Now, these last two is where I messed up a little bit. I predicted Bucks in 7. Indiana Pacers ended up winning in 6. And I had the 76ers winning in 6. They ended up losing in 6. So, other than those two, did pretty good. Thunder versus the Mavericks. Man, Thunder got the pieces. With Shea being able to score, play defense, as I always say. Dort plays defense. Jalen Williams, two-way guy. Chet Holmgren, same thing. They got all the pieces in the world. It's just that they got to develop more, in my opinion, and actually go through that heartbreak in the playoffs, maybe 1 or 2 until they finally hone in on their skills. I'm looking at the Mavericks. Luka Doncic already went through that with the Clippers. They finally beat them now. Kyrie Irving got a championship ring. All of that matters to me. I'm going to go with Mavericks in 7. If Mavericks had a little bit better defense, I might give them in 6. Timberwolves versus the Nuggets. This one is probably the hardest one out of these remaining matchups. Timberwolves had the best defense in the regular season. Nuggets played just enough defense, good offense. They're like a really good balance. You could argue who's the best player on the court. Still probably lean towards Nikola Jokic. Anthony Edwards is going to have something to say about that. This is going to be a real tough series. And I actually wanted to start the playoff predictions already. As we know, Timberwolves stole one on the road. However, I was waiting for the Magic and Cavaliers to finish up before I did this video. I'm going to go with Nuggets in 7. Mostly because they're still the champions. And that's the edge that I'm giving over them. Outside of that, I believe this could go either way. Celtics versus the Cavaliers. I got the Celtics in 6. Celtics on a whole nother planet. I don't see them losing to any of these teams in the East. I'll be very surprised. Cavaliers, though, I will say they're underrated, in my opinion, and I spoke to this more in my round 1 predictions when I was looking at the matchup against the Magic. Donovan Mitchell, don't be surprised if he goes crazy. If he tries to prove I'm still that star or that superstar player that people talked about when I was in Utah or what they expected me to be. He will be the reason they steal 2, in my opinion. Or dare I say push it to 7. Because as we know, Porzingis is injured, and that will play a role in Cavaliers potentially making this a lot more competitive. However, I'm going Celtics in 6. Knicks versus Pacers. This one is going to be interesting. I predicted that both these teams would be eliminated in the first round. Here they are now. I got to make a pick between one of the two, one or the other. I'm going with Knicks in 6. Pacers, not a good defensive team. I see Jalen Brunson going crazy, doing his thing, putting up really big numbers. I don't know who is going to check him on the Pacers. I'm trying to think of a defender that they could stick on him that comes to mind. Pascal Siakam, probably their best defender, but he may be a little bit too big to stay with Brunson on the perimeter, so I don't see that happening. And also, OG Anunoby guarding Siakam. Look out for that matchup, too. They're both teammates. They were both teammates, obviously, in Toronto. I watched both of them a lot during their time on the Raptors. I'm going to say that Pascal has some trouble going up against OG if he's guarding him. Knicks in 6. Tell me what y'all think. Do you like my predictions? Watch the round 1. Hopefully this one goes pretty good, and we'll see. Peace.